Hello everybody, welcome to my page. What I wanted to come on and do with this video is to introduce you to Neal Remedies, talk to you a little bit about Neal Organic, which I am part of, which forms part of my business, and explain a little bit why I think aromatherapy is amazing and why I think as a female it can be incredibly beneficial to us as people, but also as a woman in business as well. So it's great on a personal level, amazing on a personal level. I've used it for years on a personal level, but I also use it within my business. So this is going to be a bit of an introduction. So hopefully I've got notes. So if I look down, that's because I want to make sure I don't miss anything, because this is going to be full of information that you could be listening to this as a potential customer that thinks, actually, do you know what, I need to get some of these products in my life for whatever the reason is. But you could also be watching this as a perspective like business owner that wants to bring in another income revenue into your business, to expand your business, to grow your business. And I'll explain how you can do that as we go through. So this is kind of based for both personal and business. Okay, so stick with me because there'll be information on both. So let me tell you a little bit about my Neal's Yard Remedy story, how I got to hear about it, and kind of what sort of drew me into the product, into the brand, into the range. So I've been a beauty therapist since 1994, so a long time. And I've been in business since 2004 myself. So I've owned my own salons and worked for myself for many years. And when I first set up my first initial salon, I literally was on a budget and I kind of thought, right, I'm going to go with a wholesale brand. Nothing wrong with a wholesale brand. It was affordable. They were good products. They were the best products I could afford to buy in for my for my customers and my clients at the time. And they were affordable in the fact that when you're using the products day in, day out on people, you want to make sure that you don't just run out without having the income, the revenue to replenish. Okay, so when you're in business, you kind of have to do the math to make sure that you're using the right amount of product on the client and that you're not going to just run out, and it's not going to be a really expensive range to keep replenishing. So you kind of have your eye on client satisfaction and you want to give them the best treatment with the best products, but you also want to make sure it's affordable for you. So when I first set up my salon, I went for a wholesale brand. Absolutely fine, used that for many years, had a lot of clientele, repeat clientele, loyal clients, and a lot of referrals, so that was all fantastic. However, I was invited to a Neal Yard party, and I'll just put a little caveat in there, don't like parties, not my thing. But I was invited by a really good friend, so I couldn't not go. I'm sure you know, you've all probably been there. And when she opened the door and to greet me, I was just like met with the most amazing smells. I was like, whoa, what is that? That smells glorious. I walked into her dining room, which was a lounge diner, and it was all set up with like Neal Yard products everywhere. There's lots of people in there, and I was a bit like, oh my God, I have my comfort zone here. Anyway, I sat down, and the lady that was doing the presentation, that was hosting the party for my friend, she talked about all the different products, and obviously coming from a beauty therapy background, I was obviously interested. It was really interesting, and long story short, we got to sort of try out some of the products, test them on ourselves, etc. So she did a couple of mini facials on people, and I fell in love with a particular product. It was Wild Rose Beauty Balm. And as soon as I picked this product, and bearing in mind, this was 2009, 2010, a long time ago, okay? It was really unheard of. It was still very new in the direct selling world, okay? It was very new. Neal Yard Remedies as a brand had opened on the 4th of December 1981, so that had been around a long time. But as part of the Direct Selling Association, where they were going out and about and hosting parties, and people were starting to get to know about the brand. That was really, really new. So when I had sort of attended this party, everything was really new. The awareness of the brand was really not out there. So not many people really knew what it was. Unless they'd been gifted it, or unless they'd been down to Covent Garden and actually gone into the Neal Remedies shop. So it was really unheard of. So I was a bit like, what is this? What's it all about? So I was really taking in the information, finding it really interesting. I love the fact that it was a British brand. I love the fact that it was aromatherapy, because aromatherapy is super, super powerful. I'm not going to sit on here and do any sort of health claims or anything like that, but it's super powerful. Aromatherapy has been around for hundreds of thousands of years, okay? So it is something that we have a lot of knowledge about. It has been used for generation upon generation upon generation in some way. So I love aromatherapy. I was taking everything in, and this Wild Rose Beauty Balm smelt divine. So I kind of said, you know, what is it? How does it work? And initially, the lady that was hosting, so the consultant, didn't have any beauty therapy background. She only knew what she'd learnt through doing Neal. She kind of sort of said, oh, it's a facial cleansing balm, etc., etc. And I was smelling it thinking, it's more than that. It's more than that. It can do more than that. And they were kind of starting to sort of produce a bit of literature that was sort of talking about other ways that you could use the balm. And she was like, well, actually, you could use it like this. And I was like, absolutely. So by the end of the evening, I was like, the Wild Rose Beauty Balm is just, to me, as a therapist, is like a wonder balm product. It can be used in so many different ways. And I thought, oh, I love it. I'm going to have to get that. So obviously, I placed my order. My order arrived. I used the balm. Initially, I did use it in the kind of way that it was originally kind of marketed, which was to cleanse. But I really enjoyed the experience, the smell. I can just, even talking about it, I can sense the smell, because I've used it for many, 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 many years. The smell is divine. When you smell it, it just makes you go, and it makes you feel good. Okay, it's just a really lovely scent. So I kind of enjoyed using it, and I started to think, how else could I use this? And I thought, actually, this would be good as like an overnight mask. This would be really good for like on your temples if you're feeling a bit agitated or a bit stressed and you want to chill out. And actually, I think on one occasion I sat there and I literally was sniffing the pot. Sniffing the pot for ages. Anyway, fast forward. So I fell in love, and I fell in love with the brand through that product. Iconic product, okay? I was starting to think, how can I use this in my business? I bet it costs thousands to be able to use this brand in my business. Now, bearing in mind, I had gone to big, similar aromatherapy based brands that supply to salons and spas. I'd gone to them looking at opening accounts, and they wanted ridiculous amounts of money up front. They wanted ridiculous levels of ordering, and I could have been potentially left with a lot of stock, and it was just not viable for a small one-man band business. You know, I'd opened a salon. It was just me initially on my own. I couldn't warrant £2,500, £3,500, £4,000, £5,000 worth of product for me not knowing even how my business was going to perform, let alone being able to sell it all. So when I was kind of thinking, well, how can I incorporate this? I was kind of thinking I'm going to have to buy it in at full price, but then use it. Until I looked through the catalogue properly, and I realised that actually you could become a consultant. And I was like, oh, so you could get a starter kit. What's in the starter kit? And I started to sort of work through the starter kit contents, and there was literally everything: cleanser, a toner, moisturiser, eye treatment, serums, samples, other body products, catalogues, all sorts of hairbands, all sorts of things was in the starter kit. This is going back when I got it years ago, 2009 or 10, I can't remember quite when. End of 2009, beginning 2010, something like that. And I added up the value in the kit, and I thought, well, do you know what? This is a no-brainer. Even if I get the kit and I decide, just from a personal perspective, just to keep it all for myself and use it all for myself, this is a lot of product. This is going to last me a long time myself, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy using these products. And it's cheaper for me to get a starter kit than it is to order all these individual products. So like from a no-brainer perspective, the risk was zero because I would use all those products myself. Then I was thinking, actually, there's nothing here to incorporate into a lot of my treatments that I was doing. So I was a facial specialist. Although I did everything, my expertise kind of landed in skincare, facial and body care. So I kind of worked out, actually, I could use this and that and the other in that treatment. I could use this one in the other treatment. And over time, I could, in effect, buy in extra products and start to add in a few more products into the treatments that I was going to be doing on my clients. So I was like, sold. This is what I've been looking for. I didn't know I was looking for this. In fact, I wasn't looking. It found me. But as soon as I kind of clicked, actually, this is going to be great for me, but it's also going to be amazing for my business. It's a British brand. It's glass bottles, beautiful glass bottles. It looks great. It's aromatherapy. It's organic. It smells amazing, and the reviews for all the products are fantastic. Absolutely, why wouldn't I do it? So I contacted the lady that hosted the party, the consultant. I said, look, I'm thinking of potentially, I'm a therapist, thinking about using this in my business. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, I'll just keep it all for myself. How do I join? So we had a conversation, and she basically sort of said, look, there's no pressure. You don't have any monthly targets. There are no monthly targets. So you don't have to feel under pressure to suddenly start selling to all your clients or telling all your friends about it. You can literally start and then just see what happens, kind of thing. I was like, well, that's great. Because like targets were freaking me out. It was enough to consider using it within my, up leveling, if you want to call it that, from the wholesale range into something really prestigious and lovely without thinking, oh God, now have I got to sell a certain amount, which I didn't. So I was like, phew. So I signed up, I joined, the kit arrived. Now back then it was in a big trolley, because the therapist side of the business back then wasn't really there. It was appealing to more people that were looking for a second income, people that potentially were in the well-being industry, but it could have been a yoga instructor wanting oils for the studio, Pilates instructor wanting oils for the studio. It could have been a massage therapist that wanted some really great oils to use on his or her clients. So it was very alternative, and also very what I call mainstream, is that anybody could join and potentially sell it. So the therapist side wasn't quite there when I joined. But I kind of knew that actually this could be a bit of a game changer for my business. And all of a sudden I saw navy, I saw the blue, I saw my towels blue, my throw blue. I thought this could look really classy, this could really level up my business, and set me aside from somebody else in the industry, really kind of make my mark. So got the kit, opened the kit up, was like, oh, wow, this is beautiful. Admittedly, I think I did dive into a few of the products personally myself, but I put the rest aside. I thought, right, okay. So then I looked at my price list, and back then my price list, I created it myself. It was on an A4 piece of paper that was folded into 3. I thought I'd done a reasonably good job, but it wasn't until I kind of sort of saw all this Neal stuff coming along, I thought, oh, actually I need to up level a little bit here. So I actually invested in a designer, and we designed my logo, which is at the top of this page, and it's also in my members group. It's in price lists and business cards and all sorts of stuff. So I got something that was really creative and could design something that fitted perfectly in with my vision. of where I wanted to take the business. And I was absolutely 100% all in. I was like, this is it, this is the brand. And it really, really changed everything. I already had fantastic clients, which was amazing. But as soon as I brought in aromatherapy, it was a game changer. I would literally open the door to my studio and all these beautiful scents would waft out. And before the client even stepped foot into the studio, they'd be like, oh, wow, it smells gorgeous. And already that kind of psychological impact through scent, through fragrance, through knowing what's potentially coming inside kicked in. And they were already feeling that sense of, this is me, this is my time, this is my opportunity to relax, this is something for me that I deserve, that I've worked hard for. I cannot wait to get into this studio, I cannot wait for my treatment. And that was already happening just from me opening the door and them getting a waft of all the amazing scents that were inside. So, and these were all kind of like little benchmarks, sort of nods, subtle nods. And I thought, yes, this is it. This is working. This is perfect. My clients are absolutely adoring it. So this is kind of like a quick fast forward over the last 20 odd years, but so the studio was revamped. Everything was navy and gold, because I picked gold, a subtle, kind of like a brushed subtle gold, not a bright yellow gold. So everything was kind of like designed and created around my brand of choice. And all of a sudden, everything just felt really aligned. Whereas in the previous years with my studio and with my beauty room and salons, I'd gone in with like, let's go for pink, let's go for red, let's go for brown. But it didn't align with anything. It was just like that colour, let's go for it. Whereas this felt like completely cohesive. It felt like I genuinely loved the products. I loved the environment in which I created for my clients. My clients loved the environment, but most of all, my clients enjoyed the treatment that was enhanced by the products. And it all just came together. So it was absolutely amazing. Now, I didn't actively sell the products, so I did retail them, but I didn't do parties or online anything particular at all. My sort of standpoint was that if a client was coming in and she was thoroughly enjoying the treatment, thoroughly enjoying the products that I was using on her, but she was really happy with the brand that she'd chosen to use at home, that was good enough for me. As long as she was happy, that was good enough for me. All I was there to do was to empower her and say, listen, what are you using? How are you using it? How are you finding it? Are you happy with the results? And if the answer was yes, all good, then that is fantastic. But I would empower and say, listen, if you at any stage want to carry the effects of your treatment today home with you, you could also always start to incorporate certain products into your home skincare routine. But that's as and when you feel it's appropriate. And occasionally people go, actually, yes, I will order whatever it is. I would obviously have a few displays in my studio so people could see the products as well. But it wasn't about selling. It was about empowering. It was about educating my clients and letting them make their own decisions on when the time was right for them to start to use the products. Anyway, long story short, it was amazing. I thoroughly loved working with the products every day. I thoroughly enjoyed working on my clients, seeing the transformations in front of me. And it's not really until you see somebody regularly over a course of maybe 3 months, 6 months or a year or longer, that you really start to see the results that can be achieved with good skincare. And there is nothing wrong with purchasing skincare to your budget. And if you're on a very, very low budget, any skincare that you use is better than none. And that's always been my philosophy. You know, if your budget is so much and that's all you can afford, get the best that you can afford for that budget, because it's better than doing nothing. However, if you're at a point in your life where you have expendable income and you have therefore the flexibility to choose which products you feel are more appropriate for your skin at the time of the life that you're in, then why not go for something that you thoroughly love, you thoroughly enjoy? So, where am I at? So I absolutely loved talking to my clients, talking about the products, and I never ever once really kind of did the whole, you shouldn't use that, you should up level. I always gave my clients the information for them to be able to make their own decision. I loved working with the brands, as I've said. It was amazing for me to walk into the studio every day, put on the diffuser, spray the room spray. I always used to spray the room spray over my couch, my beauty couch, so when the client got onto the couch they smelled gorgeous. When they got off the couch, depending what clothes they'd got on, they would also leave and go home wearing the same scent, basically, which would be another kind of reminder to them that they've had a beautiful experience that day and they've had time out where they've been able to have a treatment. So there's lots and lots of things as a therapist that you can do, that you can incorporate into your business by using an amazing brand. Now, as far as being a consultant, what are the perks? So you don't have to be a beauty therapist to be a consultant. You could just be an absolute Neal's Yard fanatic. You could love the products, maybe use the bath products, maybe use the shower gels, maybe you love the hand wash and the hand cream, maybe you use some of the beauty products, some of the skincare, and you typically purchase from a consultant, or you go on to Neal's Yard Remedies and find a store, your local store. There's not many. I think there's about 50 in the UK and Europe, so they're not everywhere, okay? But maybe you've experienced the products and you love them. Well, there's no harm in you becoming a consultant, which is the official title. There's no harm in you becoming a consultant, opening your own account, and then just ordering for yourself, okay? Because you're going to get 25% discount. You're going to get 25% commission back on every single product you purchase for yourself. So not only is it kind of like money savvy, but you're getting your hands on the products that you love at a lower price, a less amount than you would do if you were ordering through a consultant or going to a Neal's Yard Remedy store. So initially the perks of having the discount is obviously a no-brainer, and you only need to place one order a year to keep your account active, and that's a 50 pp order, which is going to mean nothing to you, but it's around £85. So if you place an order for £85 once a year, which if you're getting a cleanser and a toner and a moisturiser, a room spray, an oil, maybe a foaming bath, something like that, or a body cream, you're gonna achieve that, okay? So you're going to get your discount, but you also get the opportunity then to order bits and bobs if you want to for friends and family, but there's no pressure. You do not need to do that. If you are thinking about Neal's Yard as a consultant, maybe you were like me, used to using wholesale products and looking to like level up your business. I can tell you 100% it changed my business for the better. I had people travelling. I live in Northampton, which is kind of Midlands. I had people travelling to me specifically because they had heard initially that I was a Neal's Yard consultant. So I was using the brand in my business. And then once they'd experienced my treatment and thought, oh, actually, she's too, the combination of great therapist and great products was enough to draw them back, and I had people driving like an hour to come and have an afternoon of treatments with me, which is kind of testament to, I suppose, a little bit to myself as being a therapist, but also to the brand. So if you are a therapist and you are setting out, say you've just qualified recently, or you've been working in a salon and you've decided, you know what, I'm going to work from home, or I'm going to go mobile, and you are looking for something that's really gorgeous, okay, that is prestige, that is going to bring you in the clientele that you want within your business, then absolutely you need to become a consultant and get your hands on the beautiful products and the beautiful kits that are available. You can, most of the time, depending when you're watching this video, you can join for anywhere between sort of £50 and £100, okay? So it's a very small investment, and the value that you get for that is incredible. So it's a very, very minimal investment into something that could potentially be a game changer in your business. It might be that you've been working from home for quite a long time, and you want to revamp Maybe you've got a fantastic client base, but something's happened. Maybe your life situation has changed and you need to earn some more money, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, ladies, absolutely nothing, okay? If you need to earn some more money and you want to start leveling up your business, obviously this is a fantastic step for you, because you're going to be working with a British brand. It's organic, it's soil certified, it is it's been around for like 41, 42 years. It's aromatherapy, it's great for the mind, the body and the soul, and it's fantastic for you to work with as well. And it will draw in amazing new clientele to you. So there's loads and loads of reasons why you as a therapist will benefit from having Neal as your brand of choice. If you want to pop me a message and ask me any questions, feel free to do so. Right, what else can I tell you? Let me just double check on my notes. One of the other perks of being a consultant as well is you can begin to earn half price and free Neal products, which is amazing, because that is the way to expand your kit, okay? That's how I did it. So initially I got the starter kit, and then when I started to think, right, I need one of those for me, and I need one of those for like my therapist, for my clients, and I want another spare one of those, and I'm going to gift that one to somebody. I started to build up some orders, and it kind of unlocked some free shopping. And I was like, aha, I can get a second facial mask with that amount of money. I can get a second choice of cleanser. I can get a second choice of moisturiser. So that's how I started to expand my kit. And then what I would do is I would probably, because they're such concentrated products, they have so much worth when you're using them, that actually you only need a small amount. They're very, very strong, as far as like they hold themselves on the skin really well. They don't just disappear in a second, so they have the value for you to be able to work with the product. So you really don't need much, so they last quite a long time, to be fair. But what I used to do is I used to do a stock order maybe every 3 or 4 months and top up what I needed, and I would create a party to do that, which would then unlock free and half price shopping, which gave me the option to add extra things in that didn't cost me anything or cost me 50% off, which is amazing. Some of the other benefits of being a therapist is obviously you get ongoing support. And if you are quite new as a therapist and you're thinking, God, this lady sounds like she's been doing this ages, I'm not going to know where to start. Well, that's where you can contact me and we can have a chat, and we can work together potentially, and I can show you and say, well, this is something that you could do, and what do you want to achieve, and we can run things through together, and then you can get a plan of action, and then you can feel a bit more confident in what you're doing moving forward. What else to tell you? There's so much. It's such an amazing brand. I love the fact that, just from a personal perspective, so taking away the business side of things, when I have friends that come round and they use my hand wash and the hand cream that's in the bathroom, everyone comes down, oh, it just smells so gorgeous. I love the reaction of people when they use the products. My mum is a terrible sleeper, so some of the nighttime based products I've given to her over the years, and she has definitely felt the benefits of using those products herself. So when you hear sort of feedback, it kind of makes you go, I know this is an amazing brand, but now it feels even more amazing, because people are coming back to me and telling me, wow, these products have done this, that and the other for me, which is amazing testimonials. So if you've kind of watched this, you've now understood how I got into it. You could probably tell that I love it from a personal perspective. You could probably tell that I loved it for my clients and what have you. Now, I don't do treatments anymore. I live with a chronic back condition. So once we went into the pandemic, and obviously, as you could probably all remember, all beauty salons were closed down, and they were just closed for so many months. It was just insane. But one of the perks, if I'd have been a bit more savvy back then, was that that's the joy of having something like this as a sideline, if you are a consultant and want to earn an extra income, because you can do this as online, you can chat to friends online, you can use social media, and it can be a second income stream. And I'll sort of kick myself for not doing that back then, but we were all so confused by the pandemic that our heads were just all over the place, weren't they? But it's amazing to have as a second income. You might also be, like I said, a therapist that's got an established business but wants to add maybe like another channel into the business, want to draw in some new customers, some fresh customers from somewhere else, and don't know how to do it. This could also be that avenue that you could explore. Or you might be watching this thinking, give me these products because they sound amazing. And they are amazing, they are fantastic. So I just thought I'd jump on and do this video, give you a little bit of an idea of who I am. I absolutely love the brand, and I recommend it to everyone, whether it's personal, whether it's business. But it's one of those things that you've got to try it. You've just got to try it. You've got to experience it. So if you want to experience the products, then pop me a little message and I will send you the link to my website. You can go on, you can have a little browse, choose what you want to choose. And if you're unsure, you can message me, say, this is what my skin's like, this is how I'm feeling at the moment, what would you recommend? This is my budget, what would you recommend? Could be a first product, and I will absolutely have that conversation with you and help you. As a trained therapist, like I say, I've been doing this for 29 years. I do know what I'm talking about. I'm also a qualified trainer as well. I've had Beauty Academy where I've trained. I actually can certify. I don't do that at the moment, but I can certify people in qualifications. So trust me, I do know what I'm talking about. So yeah, reach out to me if you want to know more about the products and you're unsure, and I will happily help you as much as I possibly can. If you're in business and you want to find out more, again, message me. If you are a woman that is feeling like I've hit this season of my life, I love everything you've said, I'm interested slightly about the income and the business opportunity, I'm definitely interested in knowing how these products can help me with the stage of life that I'm in, book in for a wellbeing coaching session, because we can talk about how you're feeling, where you want to go in your life, what you feel you need, what you feel you're lacking in, and we can come up with some kind of plan to help you begin to feel better about yourself. And that may or may not include any of the products. They could help to support you in your journey. So definitely contact me to look at that. And if you are in business and you're thinking, do you know what, I love the sound of this, but I don't really know how to market it, I don't really know how to integrate it into the business I've already got. Would it work with a Pilates studio? Would it work with meditation? Would it work with yoga? Would it work with sports massage? Would it work with Reiki? Would it work with crystal healing? Yes, it would. And if you need business mentoring, then again, just reach out to me and I'll happily have a conversation with you about that, because I've brought it into an existing business, and I've also over the years supported many other people within the wellbeing, the health and wellbeing sector, to introduce this brand into their businesses as well. So if you need anything, just contact me. If you go to the top of the page, you will see there is a message me button. Hit that, send me a message, and I will get back to you. So thank you so much for watching this. I feel like I've probably waffled, what is the time, for 33 minutes, but I'm hoping the waffling has resonated in some way with you, and I'm hoping that it's made some form of sense. And I'm hoping that I've been able to pass on my passion, my love for the brand to you, and that you feel that you can come and approach me if you've got any questions. I don't do hard selling. I'm not a spammy seller at all in any shape or form. So if you come to me, I will do my best to help you. And I'll always give you options of what you could do with this, you could do with that. So please feel free to reach out to me, knowing that you're under no obligation to buy, to become a consultant whatsoever. If I can help you, I will. So thanks for watching.